annual list that tells the world it's not doing enough for millions of refugees across the globe. The Norwegian Refugee Council has published its 10 most neglected crises, and for the first time, they are all in Africa. Topping the bleak ranking, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burkina Faso, and Cameroon.
That the world's most neglected crises are all in Africa points to the chronic failure of decision makers, donors, and the media. With the all-absorbing war in Europe's Ukraine, I fear African suffering will be pushed further into the shadows.
The list is based on 3 criteria: lack of funding, lack of media attention, and a lack of international political and diplomatic initiatives. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country that has been plagued by violence for decades, there are 5 million internally displaced persons and over 19 million in need of humanitarian aid. And yet the report finds that the aid provided to the country equaled less than $1 per person in need per week.
It is not only unjust, this bias also comes with a tremendous cost. Lives that could have been saved are lost. Conflicts are being allowed to become protracted crises and devastate the hopes of generations of people for a better future.
This year's report has focused on the differences in treatment between the war in Ukraine and crises in Africa, reminding readers it took just 1 day in March for a humanitarian appeal for Ukraine to be almost fully funded. Meanwhile, less than half of the aid requested by the UN for the DRC was delivered. And experts fear that rising fuel and wheat prices because of the war in Ukraine will lead to even more food insecurity in Africa.
Black family, I'm still seeing black people. I'm still seeing people like me entertain themselves about what's going on over in Palestine, Israel, Middle East, wherever you want to call that particular land mass, where mass genocide is happening. I'm still seeing black people fight over who is right and who is wrong. Far as Palestine was there first and Israel came in as an occupier. That is the history. That is the truth. But there's other things that are taking place, that's been taking place ever since the installment of the white man's power on the planet. The anti-African agenda, the African genocide agenda that takes place every day. That the installment of the white man up on our planet when he came in rulership, it's been a constant attack on black people. The integrity of black people is at hand all the way around the globe because they're teaching it to the young now. The anti-African agenda. So why, black people? Why you waste your time, your energy? This is a white man's war. This is a time that us as a people come together, take advantage of the white man's war and unite with your own. You can't do that. You always want to fit yourself into a puzzle. You just don't fit. Why are we arguing and bickering over who's right, who's wrong in that land in Israel? Why do we always fight amongst each other? A brother can't come give us real knowledge about the white man, what he doing to us, without us getting excited, feeling uncomfortable because somebody calling out your slave master. That's what's wrong with the Negro. He wants to fit in other cultures. He just don't fit. And it's crazy for you to want to fit and be like somebody else when they imitating us. We the one gave birth to civilization. We taught the math and the science, but you don't know that. Some of us don't know that. I'm proud to be a black man. I'm proud to be descended from Africa. I'm not running around here talking about I am Aboriginal. I know the continent is the mother country of all human beings up on our planet. So the world is mourning for Israel. The world is mourning for Palestine. And I'm going to say this one time, and I don't care who I offend. I never seen Arabs or Arab people stand up for black people. I see Arabs enslaving our people in Libya. Thanks to Obama administration and Hillary Clinton, you know, the real devils of this world, which you niggas can't see. You ninjas can't see. But not to get off track. I don't want to see nobody get killed for no reason at all over land, occupation, apartheid. When people are oppressed, sometimes they go to the extreme to try to liberate themselves. I say Hamas went to the extreme by killing innocent civilians. But I understand their rage of being bottled up and had to have a passport to travel within the country that you was in first, inhabited before there was a such thing as a Jew. You was there first. I know the history. But I can't cry with you. I can use your situation to point out the wrongdoings of white supremacy, which is Israel and America, Great Britain, Germany, France, and all their allies are oppressors up on our planet. Whether you Negroes want to believe it or not. Whether you want to believe it or not. The world's most neglected crisis is not in Israel, not in Palestine, even though it's a crisis. I don't condone that. I'm a human. I got empathy and sympathy for all life, even animal life. But I can't cry with those who never stood for black people and make it hell for black people today. You can't tell me that the untouchable community runs everything in Hollywood, make my brothers and sisters do crazy things for money in Hollywood. Yeah, I'm going to point that out. Make my brothers and sisters do things against the nature of what God created them to be. Yeah. They own the basketball, the football. They still enslave black people, use our talent, our powers, our energies, our talent, and give us crumbs to not go back to the slums and help our brothers and sisters. These people are frowned up on. These so-called celebrities that y'all look up to, they are frowned up on if they try to help us, black people. They boule. Let's get to the world 10 most neglected crises in the world. Guess where they at? All in Africa. According to the Norwegian Refugee Council annual analysis, the world neglected displacement crisis is going over in Sudan. Innocent black people are being killed by militants. And I bet you those militants are part of a proxy war where you got white money is backing these particular individuals to cause havoc up on Sudan so they can rape her for her gold. See, it's the struggle for it's a struggle for Africa all over again. Just like the Berlin Conference of 1884, 1885, the Berlin Conference. Any of us who familiar with the Berlin Conference, where the European nations sat down and carved up Africa for themselves. in the Congo, the Congo was one of these nations that were carved up. Right now in the Congo, there's a crisis going on where people are being displaced. We talk about millions of people because we the majority on the planet. So when you go to Africa, you're dealing with millions of people, a billion people, over a billion people on the continent of Africa. So when this ethnic cleansing happens in Sudan, happening right now in the Democratic of the Congo, where black people are being killed, innocent citizens, and no one is saying nothing about it. You know why? The annual list of neglected displacement is based on these criteria: lack of funding, lack of media coverage. The Congo is one of the worst humanitarian crises of this century, and no one's talking about it. We talking about thousands of Africans, millions of Africans being displaced. You got Rwanda's president. He does not want to accept no one else from the Congo as a refugee running from killers. And you see their weapons. When you see those killers' weapons, you see the Jeeps, you see the Germany rifles, you know who's putting the guns there to cause mishap in Africa. So it's no question why the president of the Congo is kicking out the UN peacekeepers. White folks, they're supposed to come in and help stop the militants, Islamic militants, for attacking Africa. All along, white influence, that's why I call it a proxy war. And you crying for Israel. And I'm talking about children are being gunned down. They don't show the African crisis. They sit back and watch the Rwanda crisis. And the Belgians was behind that conflict. You got to go back and read up on that. All the conflicts, the major conflicts, when it's dealing with those resources, because the white man needs Africa. When it's dealing with gold, uranium, there's mass of resources that I can't even name that is very vital for the Western world's, to get exported, imported to them, so they be able to live the way they live. People in America, you don't live rich if it don't be for the suffering of Africans and other nations, developing nations who produce things that America can't produce. Her grounds is not that fertile. How in the hell is this the motherland? Negroes are telling me that America is the motherland. I don't want to be here. If I'm put in charge of resources, how to make money, I'd rather be in Africa. She got the untapped resources. She got everything man need. But what's happening in Africa? You got puppet African leaders who's inside the continent. There's people on the outside the continent. If they really care for black people, we can stop this overnight. If these African leaders stop being puppets for white Western world, Africa is the biggest gold mine in the world. To make that cell phone, I repeated this time and time again, you will not be able to be on that cell phone if it wasn't for Mother Africa. They don't make the resources in America to live prestigious. That's why America go around the world killing everybody for African resources. So that's a proxy war that's going on. Our people being killed. all because they black. The DRC has 5.7 million people displaced in 2023. People in urgent need of more than like $2 million in medical and other aid. Millions of Congolese people are seeking asylum in other African states. In Sudan, there's an ethnic cleansing. In Darfur, innocent people are being attacked by the millions. See, these are proxy wars. They want Africa. This is why niggas in this country is saying that they are Indian. They want you to forget about what's going on in Africa. I see mass protests all around the world for for Palestinian people. I don't see nobody standing up for Africa. The world's 10 most neglected crises are all in Africa. And nobody's there crying for Africa. Now you see why I don't stand for Israel. Israel, behind these proxy wars, she cannot live rich unless Africa is brought to her knees. They bleed Africa. How in the hell America is the motherland, Negroes? When America feed these motherfuckers. See, that's why I can't embrace the Aboriginal custom, because you leaving out history. You don't talk about these Indians that enslaved Africans. That happened in this country. Indians enslaved Africans. Why we can't go back to that? See, nobody gives a fuck about us. This is why it's overshadowed when Africans are being killed and injured and displaced. You know, we don't mean nothing to each other. And that's why we kill each other. But see, I'm going to speak up because I care about me. I care about my people. I care about the advancement of the race. And I'm black first, unapologetic African. And why do I call myself an African? I may be mixed with a whole other rape ancestral things that were forced upon my ancestors that we didn't abide by. But since the African gene, science can prove it, anthropologists can prove it, that I'm the dominant, that melanin is the dominant on the planet. That's why everything has an origin. The Aboriginals in Australia, they don't want to admit it, but everybody has an origin. Everybody has a parent. The wolf is the father of all dogs. The wolf is father of all dogs. Father and mother of all dogs. The African is the father and mother of all people upon our planet. Facts, hands down. How in the hell we gonna be displaced by the millions in Africa and we don't speak up? How we gonna be displaced in Haiti and we don't speak up? Why the hell is Kenya going to fucking Haiti, invading Haiti with the goddamn colonizer? What the hell is wrong with black people? When we gonna wake up and find out that we the shit, we the people, we the majority on the planet? How in the hell a few cavemen rule us, man? How in the hell you gonna cry for Israel and Israel never cry for us? In their religious books, they reduced us to monkeys and niggers in their books, in their religious books. How in the hell you gonna believe an ancient book? You said the Bible's an ancient book, and these niggas in 1948 come up out of Caucasus Mountain, the Khazar dynasty. These Europeans hide behind Judaism take over land by bloodshed. When they got to Palestine, they didn't take Palestine in a peaceful manner. It was a bloody manner. A bloody manner. With the help of Great Britain, the British, the shittest, Great British. You feel me? Do your history, do your research, but why the fuck you ain't standing with Africa? You want to stand with Israel? There's a Holocaust going on right here in America. You ain't standing with us. We dying all the time. Ain't nobody standing with the black man and woman in this country when we die. The same attitude that the racists reflect here, they reflected abroad when they dealing with black people. They reflected in Brazil. We over 80 million strong in Brazil. Over 80 million strong in Brazil. You say we didn't come from Africa. How in the hell did the Brazilians practice what they call voodoo? How in the hell did the Haitians practice what they call voodoo? That's an African spirituality. The white man made it wicked and gave you religion. And that's why we fight amongst each other. The Muslims versus the Jews. Religion. Religion is sick. We need to get up out of religion and embrace what we are as a people. See, the religion is our downfall. They got history where they show Catholic, Christian, Islamic missionaries take Africa down economically, socially, politically, enslaved us, castrated men. It's deep, man. Y'all gonna stand with Israel, but won't show support to people who look like you, people that you descended from. Hell, if you is from America, because some of us didn't all come by slave ship. All our ancestors didn't come by slave ship. There was Africans in this country. We weren't Aboriginal. There was Africans in this country. And you could go look that up. Go look up OLEC, Olmec, civilization. Go read Ivan Van Sertim's book. They came before Columbus. And Columbus gave this account what he saw when he got here to America. There was kings from Mali who gave expeditions to America way before the Olmec came in 1150 BC. So know your history, tell the truth. There was two people here. Mongoloid, I hate to say it, Asian, migrated from Asian 16,000 years ago. Y'all try to say he a fake. But it is the $5 one, the one who say he Indian, the white man, to gain Indian land. But there was a Eskimo. These are the Mexicans, the original Asians that y'all talking about who migrated here 16,000 years ago. And when they got here, the African was already here. Tell the truth. Everybody's anti-African. Tell the truth, the African was already here. And what you got is race mixing started happening. Then the Mongoloid red man wanted to be like the European and start enslaving black people. But we don't tell that history. Red masters and African slaves. We don't tell that history. See, everybody's anti-African. This is why these Negroes are down with their colonizer. The colonizer been anti-African. Only white people that wasn't anti-African who told the truth where they got their knowledge from was some people from Rome. Some white people from Greece told the truth where they got their knowledge from. The African. Hey, peace and black power. Don't fall for the African, the anti-African agenda. Make sure, don't fall for the anti-African agenda. Make sure y'all mash up the likes, share this video. Peace and black power.